What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. What up? What's good? This is your boy, Tone DeShields II. You guys are locked in on your dose of Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game. Man, oh man, it feels good to be back. Feel like I haven't spoken to you guys in quite some time. I don't think we've had a live stream since, I want to say, maybe Thursday of last week. So glad to be back. Had a busy weekend. Had to do a little bit of traveling. Happy birthday to my man, Figgy. You know what I mean? My college roommate. Shout out to my guy. Had to pop out for him. As a matter of fact, we had him on the channel, I want to say a couple days before the Super Bowl. My man, Coach Mike, Coach Fig, over there at Wilson Area High School. My best friend, my brother, happy birthday to you, man. He just turned 30 years old. So over the weekend, had to do a little bit of traveling. Had to make sure I popped out for him. But the content is in full effect. Full effect, man. We got a busy slate. We got a busy day ahead. Got a lot of things to get into. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you guys share the content. Also, just keep in mind, you guys have access to this content at any time you want on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, at any point, anywhere you want to get this content. It's available on all three major platforms where you can find your podcast and find your sports content. YouTube at Chalk It Up Sports. Apple Podcasts, just type in Chalk It Up Sports. Spotify, same thing. Just type in Chalk It Up Sports. It's all there for you. So make sure you guys lock in and show love the way you guys normally do. KGK, what's going on? Scrimp Lomaine, fan of the Eagles fan. S. Blunt, CJ Davis, Victor Jenneret, Andrew Mormon, Triggers, what's going on, y'all? Welcome to the show. I really do appreciate y'all for being here. It means a lot to me. It goes a long way. You guys have also been showing a lot of love to that Dallas Goedert video I posted recently. I posted a video on Friday regarding Dallas Goedert's situation with the Philadelphia Eagles. You guys have really been showing a lot of love to that. So make sure you guys continue to do so. Got some more things in the works for you guys. So again, make sure you guys stay engaged. Smash that like button. Let's not waste any time. Cam Jurgens, they got it done. Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles, they finally got it done. We have breaking news. The Eagles and Pro Bowl center Cam Jurgens have agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $68 million with $39.4 million fully guaranteed. This information comes via the team and Cam Jurgens' agent, Ryan Tollner of Excel Football. Cam Jurgens, first and foremost, congratulations to you, brother. Well-deserved, well-earned, coming off of a Pro Bowl season, coming off of a Super Bowl campaign. Couldn't have happened to a better brother, a better dude. The beef jerky company just got a huge boost in its stock portfolio, I'll tell you that. But there's some nuances to the situation that I can't wait to break down with you guys. There's some details surrounding how we got to this point that I want to rehash with you guys, because I think it's important to understand that this contract isn't just happenstance. This deal isn't just coincidence. This is something that the Philadelphia Eagles have prepared for. This is something the Philadelphia Eagles have developed Cam Jurgens to be able to handle. And we're going to break it all down. But once again, the Eagles and Cam Jurgens, Pro Bowl center, have agreed to a 4-year contract extension worth $68 million total, with $39.4 million fully guaranteed. And this comes via his agent, Ryan Tollner, and the team. All right. Now, let's get into some of the nuances, okay? So, with the 4 years, $68 million, Cam Jurgens is going to be making an average annual salary of $17 million a year. That makes him the second highest paid center in football. Well, it ties him for second. He's tied for second with Green Bay Packers center Elgin Jenkins. So Cam Jurgens is the second highest paid center in football. Simple as that. Him and Elgin Jenkins. On top of that, when it comes to his total guarantees of $39.4 million, Jurgens is ranked third amongst all centers in football with this $39.4 million in total guarantees. That's the third highest guaranteed total amongst all center contracts in the NFL. He's behind Kansas City's Creed Humphrey, who's ranked number 1 with a whopping total of, make sure I got this right here. Creed Humphrey got guaranteed a total of $50.3 million from the Kansas City Chiefs. He's ranked number 1. Frank Ragnow is ranked second with the Detroit Lions. They gave him $42 million guaranteed, and Cam Jurgens got $39.4 million guaranteed. Also, to take it a step further, Lloyd Cushenberry of the Tennessee Titans, he's ranked 4th in the league with $30 million in guaranteed dollars, and Drew Dahlman, the Chicago center, is ranked 28th or ranked 5th with $28 million fully guaranteed, and Elgin Jenkins is 6th. Green Bay Packers center with $24 million in fully guaranteed dollars. And again, Cam Jurgens, somebody who's put the work in, somebody who's really put the man hours in, really studied the game, studied the legends ahead of him, learning next to Jason Kelce and behind Jason Kelce. We're going to get more into how he got here. I want to talk a little bit more about the financials. Again, it's a 4-year deal, but if you break down Cam Jurgens' total guarantees, if you break down his total guarantees over the course of a 2-year span, he has an average guaranteed salary of $19.7 million. If you break his guarantees down over the course of a 4-year span, he has an average guaranteed salary of $9.85 million. So over the length of the contract, however you slice it, the Eagles made Cam Jurgens look good, and they made themselves look good. Because again, $68 million guaranteed, $39.4 million fully guaranteed. Essentially, they guaranteed half the contract. They essentially guaranteed the first 2 years of the deal. So basically, for 2 years at the very least, Cam Jurgens is going to be the highest paid center in football. Again, Creed Humphrey, let me make sure I do my math right here, because Creed Humphrey, I don't want to shortchange him. Creed Humphrey has total guarantees of $50.3 million over the course of 4 years. So, and Creed Humphrey is actually entering year 2 of that deal. Regardless, though, Cam Jurgens' contract looks really, really good for him and for the Eagles. We talked about this. This is something that the Philadelphia Eagles had intended to get done. We knew it was going to get done. It was just a matter of time. And it's so funny now when you think about the Philadelphia Eagles and how much they're paying their offensive line, it's unheard of. It's unheard of right now. Cam Jurgens is the second highest paid center in football. Then you have Landon Dickerson, who's the second highest paid guard in football behind Trey Smith. But remember, Trey Smith, he signed a franchise tag. So that's why he's making $23.4 million. But Landon Dickerson, as far as guards who are under contract, Landon Dickerson is the highest paid guard in football that's under contract. He's the second highest paid guard in football in terms of average annual salary, regardless of a franchise tag. When you get to tackles in football, you got Lane Johnson, who's the fifth highest paid tackle in football with $25 million per season in average annual salary. And you have Jordan Mailata, who's the ninth highest paid tackle in football with a $22 million salary. When you get into the specifics of the position, left tackle, Jordan Mailata here. Make sure I got this right here. Jordan Mailata is still, as a matter of fact, he's the seventh highest paid. He's the seventh highest paid left tackle in football. And Lane Johnson is the second highest paid right tackle. This offensive line is getting paid north of 17, 18, 19 million a season. The cheapest person on the offensive line is going to be Tyler Steen if he ends up being the starting right guard. He has a strong chance of being that, by the way. Strong chance. He's put in the work. He's learned behind everybody. He's been a swing guard. He's put up quality reps, quality tape. Tyler Steen is somebody that's positioned to be the starting right guard. But Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, you got 4 offensive linemen on your roster that are making north of 17 plus million a season. And Cam is the cheapest. But when you go to the guarantee money, 19 point something million dollars. I mean, 19.7 million. Got to show love to that. Howie Roseman continues to get the job done. And you got to give Howie Roseman credit for getting this deal done because Cam Jurgens is coming off of a Pro Bowl season and a Super Bowl victory. Cam Jurgens has had a phenomenal season. And Howie Roseman understood that I have to stay ahead of the curve. I have to make sure I pay not just the guys. I got to pay the right guys. I got to pay the guys that I have tremendous value in. Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles have a trend. They will invest in the offensive and the defensive line without fail. If you play O-line and D-line and you're great at what you do, they will pay you, especially on the offensive line, because that's so ingrained in what they do. That's so ingrained. Their offensive line is so tied into their identity as a football team. They're a physical football team. They're a tough football team. They're a power run football team. They're a team that believes in run first, pass later, play action, the RPOs. So much of what they do offensively is oriented around the success of that offensive line. It's their identity. And quite frankly, if you can't block, it doesn't matter what you have on the perimeter. If you can't block, it doesn't matter what you have on the perimeter. It doesn't matter what running back you have. That's why it's such a shocker to see or to have seen Saquon Barkley be as successful with the Giants. Because even when he didn't have an O-line ever, he still was a pretty dominant player. But then you finally saw what he looked like behind competent offensive line play. To take it a step further, you saw what he looked like behind elite offensive line play, offensive player of the year, all-time rushing leader for a season, including the playoffs, Super Bowl champion, first team All-Pro, a season for the ages because he was behind an elite offensive line. And Saquon knows that because on his entire press run post-Super Bowl, he's made it very clear, even throughout the season, he's made it very clear, I can't eat without the big fellas up front. He wouldn't appear on the Jimmy Fallon show without the offensive lineman. He said, I'm not coming unless I can bring the guys. Him and Hurts said, we're not coming unless we can bring the guys. So Saquon Barkley knows how his bread is buttered. Howie Roseman knows how his bread is buttered. They know that this team orients itself around the offensive line. One of the best teams in football, one of the best organizations in football, if not the best organization in football when it comes to offensive line development, offensive line play, teaching the position, technique, fundamentals, talent, athleticism, size. This Eagles offensive line has it all, and Cam Jurgens cements that at that center spot. He cements that. Like Howie Roseman is not Jerry Jones. He's not any of these other organizations that's going to waste time arguing on what a guy's worth or waste time not paying a player. We got to keep in mind, Cam Jurgens was drafted in the second round of the 2022 NFL draft out of Nebraska. And he was entering the fourth and final year of his rookie deal. Remember, year one, Cam Jurgens didn't play. He played in the preseason. He did get some spot snaps if guys got hurt at guard or if Kelsey missed a snap or two in mid-game. But for the most part, Cam Jurgens, he had no starts his rookie year. He was playing behind Jason Kelsey and also being a rotational guy at guard. So he didn't start in year one in 2022. In year two in 2023, he played Cam Jurgens, that is. Cam Jurgens played beside Kelsey at right guard. He played beside Kelsey in 2023. At that point, Isaac Seumalo was gone. So Cam Jurgens steps in at that right guard spot next to Jason Kelsey and Lane Johnson. Jurgens started in 11 games. He played 11 games, but he did miss 6 games due to an injury that he sustained at right guard. But he showed the ability, that cross-train ability, to be able to not only play center, but also play on the interior, to play the guard spot as well. That's that Jeff Stoutland University talk. Then we get to year 3, 2024, the season that we just went through. Kelsey's now retired. Now Cam Jurgens has the keys. He has the reins to the center position. And Cam Jurgens does not disappoint. His first year starting at center, he logs in 16 games played in the regular season. Logs in 4 games played in the playoffs. He gave you 20 games out of a possible 21. He didn't play the final week of the season because it was the Giants game. They sat a lot of guys. But he gave you 20 performances playing at a Pro Bowl level. Gritty, grimy, thugged out a back injury that he was dealing with on the back end of the season. Was a Pro Bowl selection and secured the Lombardi Trophy for the city of Philadelphia. And again, like I said, Cam Jurgens on the back end of that season, throughout that playoff run, he sustained a back injury. So he was pretty debilitated going into that NFC Championship game. Landon Dickerson had to start at center. But Landon Dickerson was dealing with a knee injury. So Cam Jurgens had to thug out the back injury, came in the second half, started at center. Tyler Steen picks it up at left guard, and Cam Jurgens is a fucking warrior. A warrior. Goes crazy. Held it down. Did what he did with a bad back. did what he did with a bad back. Now, recently he has underwent a procedure to alleviate the nerve pain he was experiencing in his back. He got a procedure done to relieve a lot of that damage that he sustained over the course of that playoff run. But he's expected to be full go, fully healthy when training camp starts. So the Philadelphia Eagles, for them to commit this amount of money to Cam Jurgens, for them to commit this bag to Cam, they knew exactly where he was in his recovery process. They were confident in his ability to get back on track. They felt like that back injury was a one-off or something that he could bounce back from. It wasn't something that they felt would be a lingering issue. Hence why they paid him $68 million, a $17 million AAV, annual average salary, with $39.4 million fully guaranteed. Over the course of a 2-year span, that's a guaranteed $19 million plus. Over the course of a 4-year season, over the course of the 4 years of the contract, that's an average salary of $9 million. So the Eagles are basically paying, over the course of the contract, they're basically paying Cam Jurgens almost $10 million a season with the guaranteed dollars. Howie Roseman doing magic with the salary cap once again. And this extension relieves pressure on the salary cap as well. So the deal was a no-brainer. We knew it was going to happen. It's well-deserved. Cam Jurgens has logged in. He's accumulated so much experience at such an early stage in his career. 2 Super Bowl in 3 seasons, by the way. He's entering year 4. In 3 seasons, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl victory, a Pro Bowl, and he had the opportunity to play with and learn from and study future Hall of Famer Jason Kelce. And he's played with guys like Landon Dickerson, Isaac Seumalo, Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson, Mekhi Becton. He's had opportunities to really play with some top-tier talent in that offensive line room. And he's learned from some of the best. Jeff Stoutland University. And we can't forget, Jason Kelce handpicked this brother. Kelce knew he was on his way out the door. He was on a year-to-year basis at that point. I think he was on a 1-year deal in 2022, a 1-year deal in 2023. I think he was on a 1-year deal in 2021 as well. He was on a year-to-year basis. And he made sure before he left, he gave the Philadelphia Eagles a parting gift. He said, if there's anybody going to replace me, it's that kid, Cam Jurgens. Remember, the Eagles were looking at 2 centers in that draft in 2022. They were looking at Tyler Linderbaum, who ultimately ended up being drafted by the Baltimore Ravens in the 1st round. And I think Linderbaum has been a Pro Bowler as well. And they were looking at Cam Jurgens. And the Eagles knew that they probably wouldn't be able to get Linderbaum. Or, I take that back. I think, as a matter of fact, they could have drafted Linderbaum. They could have drafted him. I thought they would take him. But they didn't. They took Jordan Davis. Which tells me they felt like they could still get tremendous value in Cam Jurgens in that 2nd round. That's the person they identified. That's the person they wanted, Cam Jurgens. So, man, Cam Jurgens, 4 years, $68 million, $39.4 million fully guaranteed. Well-deserved. Couldn't have happened to a better dude, man. Like I told y'all, the Beef Jerky Company just got a major boost, a major surge in their stock portfolio. Cam Jurgens, the second highest paid center in football. Hey, we knew it was going to happen. It was only a matter of time. Let me get to your super chats. I appreciate y'all for showing love. We got over 160 people on the live stream. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Means a lot, goes a long way. Also, make sure you guys use that comment section, especially if you're watching this show on your own time. If you're watching this after the stream ends, make sure you guys utilize that comment section. I'm pretty active in there, so make sure you guys utilize that. It really helps the content grow. Hit the like button, share the content, subscribe, all of that stuff. Okay. All right, my man S Blunt with the $10 super chat. He said, smooth succession plan with Jason Kelce. Thought they would test his back in training camp before giving him the money, but obviously they feel good about his future health. Makes sense to unload Becton and CJ, etc. Basically, we talked about this, though. We knew the Eagles were paying Cam this offseason. We knew that. It was just a matter of when. And like you said, it was entirely possible they touched that back in training camp, but this is why the Eagles are who they are. I'm so glad you said this. I'm so glad you brought up that point, S Blunt, about testing out the back before paying them. But this is what makes the Eagles so great. The Eagles do right by the people who do right by them. Cam Jurgens took his lumps. He earned his keep. He put the sweat equity in. He sat and he learned behind Jason Kelce. He put in the not only the man hours, he put in the study hours. And they felt like this is the guy they want for their offensive line. Him and Jalen Hurts have great chemistry right now. They trust each other. And we trust, and on top of that, we trust our evaluation process that much more. We trust our evaluation process. We trust our ability to assess cost and benefit, risk, reward. The reward for paying Cam Jurgens has already exceeded and will continue to exceed the risk. That's what they believe. And I would have to agree with them. Cam Jurgens had a healthy year all year. He just had a back tweak in the playoffs. And he got it taken care of. They say he'll be ready by training camp, according to Mike Garafolo of NFL Network. So, as Bunt, you nailed it. Smooth succession plan. This is how you transition. This is how you continue to stay relevant. This is how you roster build. This is how you develop talent. This is how you do business. This is how you send the message to your players, your personnel, that if you do well, if you play well, we will pay you, especially if you're at a position that we deem extremely valuable. And the Eagles have shown that offensive line is the one position group that they value above all else. Above all else. Miss Linda Washington, thank you for the super chat. She says a lot of chatter about AJ Brown's stolen car. Yeah, we're going to talk about that a little bit. I'm not going to stay on that too long. But we're going to talk about that a little bit. You know, it's unfortunate, right? I think they stole GJ's car, CJ Gardner-Johnson's car a couple years ago. Or was it last year? I can't remember. Nonetheless, though, it's corny. It's whack. But I'm hearing that he did get the car back, right? I'm hearing he did get the car back. Kyle Kokorski says Linderbaum was a 22nd pit tone. Yeah, I already addressed that. I said they actually could have drafted Linderbaum, but they decided to get more value with Cam Jurgens. So I adjusted that, Kyle. I adjusted that pretty clearly. Nonetheless, though, Linda Washington, it's unfortunate, but I'm hearing he got the car back. And AJ wasn't playing. That must have been the car he just got. So either that car was something he just got or a car that he really liked. Whatever it is, whatever it was, he was pretty peeved about that. He dropped the whole video. My man been in Philly too long. He started talking crazy. He was ready to crash out about that car. And I don't blame him. My car got stolen in Philly. I don't know if y'all remember this. I talked about this. When I was living in Philly, my car got stolen from in front of my crib. The Kia boys stole my car from in front of the house. This happened in 20. This happened in. Let me make sure I got this right here. I think this happened in 2022. Yeah. I think this happened in November or October. I think it was November. My car got stolen in November of 2022 in my own city. Nah, it wasn't 21. No, it wasn't. It wasn't, mom, it wasn't 21. It couldn't have been. Because, no, it wasn't 21. Nah, it wasn't 21. It was 2022. It was 2022. I'm pretty sure. No, because it wasn't 2021 because I got married in 2021 and I had just moved to that spot. In October of 2021. So it was 2022, I remember. I was working for Jacob at the time. I was working for Jacob Sports at the time. I remember vividly. But anyway, AJ got the car back. Let me move on though. Fanny the Eagles fan with the $10 super chat. Thank you. I appreciate you, Fanny. She says, it's amazing how we are able to keep our top talent and solidify our top position in the league on both sides of the ball. We retain players well and draft well. Howie's math be mathing. That's a fact. That's a fact. Howie Roseman is always doing the Lord's work, making sure he pay his bills on time. Thank you for the super chat, Fanny. Alex, my guy, he says 4 straight second-round picks to make the Pro Bowl for Philly. NFL record, Hall of Fame Howie. Ooh, that's a good point. Hold on. Let me do the science on that. You may be right about that. No, because Cooper DeJean didn't make the Pro Bowl. Landon Dickerson did. Cam Jurgens did. Jalen Hurts did. So that's 4. Right? Cam, Landon, Hurts. You got me thinking about that now. Hold on. So Cam Jurgens made the Pro Bowl. Landon Dickerson made the Pro Bowl. Jalen Hurts made the Pro Bowl. Oh, Miles Sanders made the Pro Bowl. Okay, all right. I see what you're saying. No, you're right. I see what you're saying now. No, you're right. You're right, Alex. That's a good point. That's a good pull. Alex, that's a very good pull by you. That's a very good pull. Dallas Goedert never made a Pro Bowl. Wow. Alex, I like that. Yeah. No, he's right. Miles Sanders, Jalen, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgens. He's right. Not bad. Eagles are pretty good in that second round. Very good. Thank you for the super chat, Alex. Rocky 4 with the $1.99. He says, is Dean or Davis next? That's a really good question. Is Nakobe Dean or Davis next? Well, I can tell you right now, Nakobe Dean is not getting contract extension right now. Nakobe Dean still has to recover from that patella injury. He's going to go into his 4th season on the PUP list. The Eagles, I don't see them extending him anytime soon. They can probably bring him back on a 1-year or 2-year very cheap deal. Like, I don't see them extending him at all right now. Not at all. Davis, on the other hand, they got to decide if they're picking up that 5th-year option. That's a big question mark in and of itself. Will they pick up the 5th-year option for Jordan Davis? That's the question right there. We got to start there, Rocky 4. So, I have no idea. Jordan Davis is I have Nakobe Dean situation pretty tight in my brain. I have a pretty strong understanding for Dean's situation. I'm pretty confident in how that's going to go. But Jordan Davis is the wild card. His situation is a little bit more unpredictable to me because they still haven't picked up the 5th-year option. They have about between 7 to 9 days to pick it up. They got to pick it up by May 1st. If they don't, then Jordan Davis is entering a contract year. If they do pick it up, they got Jordan Davis guaranteed under contract for the next 2 seasons, 2025 and 2026. But the question is, do they feel comfortable paying him out that 5th-year option? Do they believe that they can get him for cheaper based off of his production? That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. That's the question. And look, I may make some of you guys upset with this. But and I'm a Jordan Davis guy. Love his personality, love him as a player. He's a fun guy. Some of you guys may not like what I'm about to say here. But Jordan Davis is replaceable. Let me say this. I don't want to speak foully of him because I'm not. I truly respect Jordan Davis. I like him. And I had high expectations, and I still do. But so far, Jordan Davis hasn't proven to be irreplaceable. He hasn't. He hasn't proven to be irreplaceable. He has not proven that. I'm sorry. He has not. To be honest with you, they can draft a defensive lineman in the draft right now to do what he does. Deion Walker out of Kentucky. Deion Walker out of Kentucky. 6'6", 345. Now, granted, Jordan Davis has unique athleticism. He does. He does have unique athleticism. But have we really gotten the most out of that unique athleticism? Take your feelings out of it and be very direct with yourself. Have we really gotten the true benefits of that unique athleticism? The first season, he got hurt. The second season, he was out of shape. His third season, he was on a pitch count, splitting reps with Milton Williams and Moro Ojomo. Was only used on first and second down. Granted, Super Bowl champion. Played very well in the playoffs. Very well. I think he had 2 sacks in the playoffs, right? But if Jordan Davis is going to take that next step, he has to prove that unique athleticism isn't just exclusive to the combine. He has to prove that he can collapse the pocket and get consistent pressure. Consistent pressure on the interior. He doesn't get enough pressure. He keeps linebackers clean. He clogs up a lot of space. But if he has to be more than just a space eater, he has to be more than just a space eater. And on top of that, now we're talking about investment versus return. The Eagles invested a 13th overall first-round draft pick in Jordan Davis. Do you believe they've gotten a return on that investment? One may say, yeah, Tone, he was a part of a Super Bowl winning defensive line. He was a part of the number one defense in football. Okay. Fair enough. But when you look at Jordan Davis's production in the vacuum, isolate him from his peers. You invested a 13th overall draft pick in Jordan Davis. 13th overall. Do you guys think the Eagles believe they've gotten a return on that investment? We're not going to split hairs here. We're not going to split hairs. The 13th overall pick was the investment. Did the Eagles get a return? Did he get a return? And Tyzan Harris, with all due respect, if you're a 13th overall pick, you shouldn't be underrated in nothing. So I think you ultimately get what I'm saying. As the 13th overall pick, he shouldn't be underrated in nothing. I shouldn't look at Jordan Davis as an underrated piece being drafted in the top 15. Big Pickens says if he showed 3 tech proficiency, he'd be just fine. Absolutely. Absolutely. If he showed consistent proficiency as a 3 technique, like Jalen Carter or Milton Williams, we wouldn't be having a conversation. I'd be like, yo, figure it out. I'd be like, yo, Philly, figure it out. Pay him, do something, figure it out. But guess what? Because of his limitations, that may be the reason why his future contract with the Philadelphia Eagles is feasible. It's payable. Because what he does is so unique, and he only plays on first and second down. He plays very limited snaps. They may be able to keep him on his roster under a very team-friendly deal. So although he has deficiencies, those deficiencies could end up being the reason why he's still on his roster. Dank, I'm sorry. Dank. I know you like Jordan Davis, but you don't draft a D tackle in the top 15 to just be an anchor and run defense. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't. You want to know why the Eagles drafted Jordan Davis? They saw that athleticism at the combine. And they said, you know what? If that motherfucker can be a pass rusher, because we know he can stop the run. We know he can stop the run. If that big motherfucker can be a pass rusher, the league is in trouble. Being that big, moving that fast, they said, if he can be a pass rusher, the league is in trouble. The league is in trouble. That's Vita Vea times 10. Vita Vea times 10. If he can figure it out as a pass rusher, but he hasn't. So no, he wasn't drafted to just be a run. You could draft that guy in the 4th round, a 3rd rounder. If you wanted just a guy to anchor the run defense, you draft that in the 3rd round or 4th round. Hey, listen, we want you here on 1st and 2nd. We drafting you to be a rotational 1st and 2nd down D tackle. That's all we need from you. You don't spend a 13th overall pick on that. You don't. They expected him to be further along than what he was or than what he is. They expected him to have a much greater leap as a pass rusher, and he just hasn't taken that leap quite yet. He just hasn't. And that's no slight, no disrespect. We're talking about the facts. We're talking about performance. The offseason is not for feelings. The offseason is about getting to the nitty-gritty of the conversation. It's about busting down that rollie. You feel what I'm saying? It's about getting to the bag. It's about making sure cost and benefit are being evaluated. Investment and ROI are being broken down and evaluated. This ain't the time for my feelings. My feelings have been eliminated, particularly in the offseason. I save my emotions for the regular season. Right now, we're talking business. Right now, we're talking big business. Gibbs B says, you just said he showed up in the playoffs. I think he breaks out this year. You think. And yeah, he played well in the playoffs. So did Milton Williams. So did Josh Sweat. They got paid for it. Fair enough. But they got to continue to prove they earned that money, though. Just how Jordan Davis has to continue to prove that wasn't a one-off. Milton Williams and Josh Sweat got their contracts based off of that Super Bowl performance. But they also got to continue to prove that they're worth that. Now they got to step up in larger roles because of that money. Jordan Davis. You want to get paid? You want to be considered one of these guys? You gotta increase your role here. I didn't even mean for this to be a Jordan Davis conversation. I really didn't. But we're here now. And guess what? I mean this with all due respect. 388 snaps, not going to get it done. 388 snaps, not going to get it done. It's not going to get it done. 388 snaps, not going to get it done. Y'all want to hear the kind of snaps Vita Vea is playing? Vita Vea is playing routinely over 600 snaps a season. Routinely. You want to listen? Y'all want to hear Vita Vea snap counts? Y'all want to hear this? Vita Vea snap counts. Listen to this. 493, 749, 223. He got hurt that year. He bounces back. 607, 539, 607, 705. Seriously. Listen to these Vita Vea snap counts. 705, 607, 539, 607. Those are the last 4 seasons. Vita Vea's second year in his career, 749 snaps. Jordan Davis, his snap counts in his career, 224, 519, 388. So I'm sorry if I'm not trying to be pleasant about this. It's the truth. We needed more from Jordan Davis. We still do. And his future right now I can't sit here and tell you he's going to get paid as quickly as Cam Jurgens did. I can't sit here and say that. I can't sit here and say that. That Jordan Davis is going to get paid like Cam Jurgens. I can't sit here and say Jordan Davis's contract is a top priority. I can't sit here and say Jordan Davis's contract is a top priority. I can't say that. But they do have to decide if they're going to pick up the fifth-year option. They do have to decide that. They definitely got to decide that sooner rather than later. We'll see, though. We sure will see. We'll see. We sure will see. All right, let's see where we are here in the show. Okay. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Really do appreciate the love. We got over 150 people in the stream. We got 81 likes. The math not mathing. We need to get that like count up. We need to get to 100 likes, you guys. We need to get to 100 likes at least right now. We got 150 people in the building. 81 likes. Catch up, catch up, catch up. We need that. We need that. My man S. Blunt says, I think they give Jordan Davis the fifth-year option and see what he does. I mean, they can see what he does without giving him the fifth-year option. He's only entering year 4. He's entering year 4. They can not give him the option and see what he does this year. Put that pressure on him. Not pick up the option and see what he does. Sink or swim. Sink or swim. Right? He still got the 4th year left on the deal this year. I'm not saying you wrong, S. Blunt, but I'm saying it's a possibility they may not. They can see what he does this year. Sink or swim. No 5th-year option. You got to earn it. You got to earn it. Because maybe in their mind, they look at it like, hold on, wait. How much we owe him for that 5th-year option? Okay, we could probably not pick it up, extend him, and get cheaper there. Have him cost control at least for another 2 or 3 seasons. Who knows? We'll find out, though. We're going to know by May 1st. We're going to know by May 1st. But just understand, Cam Jurgens getting paid before Jordan Davis. That says something. That says something. That says something. And also, drafting Jalen Carter a year later told you a lot as well. Now, granted, when there's a guy like that on the board, you can't let him pass you by. When you got a guy like that on the board, you don't pass him by, right? It's pretty obvious. But drafting Jalen Carter a year later after drafting Jordan Davis is a little bit of an indictment on Jordan Davis. A little bit of an indictment. It's a little bit of an indictment. They still wasn't confident enough in their position, even with Jordan Davis being there. Also, they knew Fletcher Cox was likely going to retire. And also, this upcoming draft will tell us a lot. This upcoming draft will tell us a lot. And by the way, you guys, I'm going to be dropping a video this week, either tomorrow or Wednesday. I have a video queued up to come out where I'm telling you guys exactly and specifically who the Philadelphia Eagles are going to choose in the first 3 rounds. I have done a lot of science behind it. I was up late last night doing some notes, and I've come to the conclusion of who the Eagles are going to select. I'm committing to it and I'm locking it in. with you guys either Tuesday or Wednesday. Either Tuesday or Wednesday. I'm committed to this. I'm done speculating. I'm going to reveal to you guys who I believe the Philadelphia Eagles are going to draft with their first round, second round, and third round picks. Basically, I'm going to reveal to you guys who I believe the Philadelphia Eagles, who they're going to draft on the first 2 days of the draft. Only the top 3 picks. Only the top 3 picks. I'm going to predict those, and I'm going to lock those in. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm right, hey, the price just went up. So look forward to that video coming out. It's going to be really cool. I've done the science on it. So can't wait for that video to drop with you guys. I think that's going to drop either Tuesday or Wednesday. So make sure you guys stay tuned. All right. In other news. I want to talk to you guys about the Philadelphia Eagles updated top 30 visit list. The Philadelphia Eagles have recently invited 4 more players for top 30 visits. Those players are offensive lineman Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia. Justin Wiley, cornerback out of Minnesota. Linebacker Kobe King out of Penn State. And interior defensive lineman Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. So, you guys, this is your updated top 30 visit list. Sorry about that, you guys. Had to blow my nose. But anyway, here's your updated top 30 visit list, okay? Wyatt Millam, West Virginia, offensive lineman, was just invited. Cornerback Justin Wiley out of Minnesota was invited. Walter Nolan, interior defensive lineman out of Ole Miss, and linebacker Kobe King out of Penn State was invited as well. So let's get into some details about these players, okay? Let's get into some details. All right. Make sure you guys smash that like button. We're going to close the show out very soon here. We're not going to waste too much time on this here, all right? Let's get to these top 30 visits. So let's look up Wyatt Millam. Wyatt Millam. Where are you, buddy? There you are. Wyatt Millam out of West Virginia. .6'6", 313 pounds. Was an offensive tackle in college. Has an 85.8 player rating. Is the 11th ranked offensive lineman in the draft. That includes tackles, guards, and centers. He ran a 5.2 740-yard dash. He was invited to the Senior Bowl as well. His measurables are pretty interesting as well. Has a 30-inch vertical, a 7.59 three-cone drill, so he has quick feet. A 108-inch broad jump. He ran a 5.2 740-yard dash with a 1.84 10-yard split, so his speed is average. His arm length, That's what stands out. He has very short arms. Even though he played tackle in college, his arm length is very short. 32-inch arms, 79-inch wingspan. That's not enough on the NFL level. So there's a strong chance that he may move in on the interior. There's a strong chance he may move into the interior on the NFL level, even though he has offensive tackle capabilities. He was a 4-star athlete coming out of high school. The average rating of defenses he's faced has a 76% grade. Pass blocking has a 96% grade, and run blocking is a 93% grade. This guy can play. That's a fact. This guy can definitely play. Let's move on to the scouting report. It says here, looking ahead to the NFL, Wyatt Millen projects as a high floor prospect who can contribute immediately at either tackle spot, because he can play left tackle or right tackle. He can contribute immediately at either tackle spot while offering legitimate guard flexibility. His technical refinement, processing ability, and anger strength should translate well to the pro game, particularly in a gap power run scheme that maximizes his ability to fire off the ball and create vertical movement. While his arm length limitations and athletic constraints might push some teams to view him as a guard prospect, his track record of excellence in pass protection suggests he can stick at tackle. His skill set and mentality could fit perfectly with teams like the Pittsburgh Steelers or Cleveland Browns, who emphasize power running while asking their tackles to win with technique rather than elite athleticism. The floor here is a quality swing tackle who can start in a pinch, but Millen's ceiling is that of a long-time starter who excels in the run game while holding his own against all but the elite pass rushers. His combination of power, technical prowess, and proven production should make him a viable target early on day 2, with the potential to sneak into the back round 1 for teams prioritizing ready-made offensive line help. That was written by Eli Cooper, who covers the Big 12. All right, so that's Wyatt Millen. He's been brought in for a top 30 visit. All right, next up, we got cornerback Justin Wiley. Let's search him. Out of Minnesota. All right. Justin Wiley, 5'10", 190 pounds, 2 interceptions, 10 pass defense, 42 tackles, 25 solo, has a 74.4 overall player rating. He's the 57th ranked DB in the draft. That's amongst safeties, slot corners, and outside corners. He ran a 4.4 40-yard dash time, which is pretty impressive. He was also invited to the Shrine Bowl. He's 22 years old. His height is okay. His weight is okay. His hands, his 40-yard dash time, and his 10-yard split, that's where he stands out. That's where he has an elite trait. The 40-yard dash time, the foot speed, the closing speed. His vertical isn't the greatest. His three cone drill, his broad jump, arm length, weight, wingspan, they're all okay. They're pretty average, but where he stands out is with the 40-yard dash. With that elite speed. He can make an NFL roster with that kind of speed. The average rating of the offenses he's faced has an 80% grade. He's giving up a 77.5 passer rating when targeted. He has a 63% tackling grade, a 71% run defense grade, a 68% coverage grade, a 69% zone coverage grade, and a 64% man press grade. He's projected to be an undrafted free agent. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. Going to his scouting report summary, it says here Justin Wiley brings a well-rounded skill set to the table with the potential to contribute in multiple defensive schemes. His ability to play both man and zone coverages effectively makes him an intriguing option for teams employing diverse defensive packages. Wiley's physicality and willingness to run support project well to nickel corner duties at the next level. While not possessing elite measurables, Justin Wiley compensates with solid technique and instincts. His experience as a 3-year starter in the Big Ten should ease his transition to the NFL game speed. Wiley's best fit may be in a zone-heavy scheme that allows him to read and react, utilizing his quickness and route recognition skills. Wiley profiles as a potential late day 3 selection with the upside to outplay his draft position. His special teams experience and versatility in the secondary could see him carve out an immediate role as a sub-package defender and core special teamer with the potential to develop into a reliable starter down the line. This was written by Casey Martinez. He covers the Big Ten. All right. Let's move on here. Let's move on to linebacker Kobe King out of Penn State. All right, Kobe King, 6'1", 236 pounds, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 97 tackles, 53 solo, has an 83.1 overall player rating. He's the 11th ranked linebacker in the draft. He ran a 4.63 40-yard dash. He's considered a box linebacker. He's 22 years old. His height and his weight don't really stand out, but his 40-yard dash time is really strong. He ran a 4.63. His bench press is really strong as well, putting up 26 reps of 225 pounds. His shuttle time was pretty good as well with a 4.26 at his pro day. So this is a guy who I don't think he was invited to the combine, but he's a guy who got a lot done at his pro day. The average rating of all offenses he's faced has a 79% grade. His tackling grade is 79%. His pass rush grade is a 71%. His run defense grade is a 95%. That's his bread and butter. And his coverage grade is 70%. He's projected to go in the 4th round. He's projected to go in the 4th round of the 2025 NFL Draft. He's played in 44 college games, logging in over 1,400 college snaps. He was a 4-star recruit according to Rivals.com out of high school and a 3-star recruit according to ESPN and 24/7 Sports, respectively, coming out of high school. Getting to his scouting report summary, it says here, Kobe King projects as a rock-solid Mike linebacker who will make his money as an early down run defender in the NFL. His combination of processing speed and physical play style reminds me of a young Blake Martinez. Maybe not the most explosive athlete, but a linebacker who consistently finds himself around the football. His immediate impact will come in base packages where his run-stopping prowess and ability to command a defense will shine. While he may need to come off the field initially in obvious passing situations, his football intelligence and work ethic suggest he can develop into a 3-down player with time. Teams running predominantly 3-4 schemes will particularly value King's ability to take on blocks and keep linebackers clean. His floor as a reliable early down defender and special teams contributor makes him an attractive day 3 selection with the potential to develop into a reliable NFL starter. All right. That's Kobe King. And by the way, Kobe King is the first traditional linebacker that the Philadelphia Eagles have brought in for a top 30 visit. They haven't brought in any traditional linebackers. All of them have been off-ball linebackers, edge rushers. You know, Kobe King is the first traditional Mike linebacker that they brought in. Now, let's move on to the man of the hour, a player that I love, Walter Nolan, D tackle out of Ole Miss. 6'4", 296, put up 6.5 sacks, 48 tackles, 26 solo, 87.7 overall player rating. He's the 5th ranked defensive lineman in this draft. That's amongst edge rushers and D tackles and D ends. He ran a 4.95 40-yard dash time. He's a guy that can play the nose and play the 3 technique. He was invited to the Senior Bowl. He's 21 years old as well. He's 6'4", 296 pounds, has 9.5-inch hands, 32.5-inch arms, and a 79-inch wingspan with a 4.95 40-yard dash time, which is very impressive for the position. And he bench pressed 27 reps of 225 pounds at his pro day. So the guy is fast and he's pretty strong. The average rating of all offenses he's faced has an 80% grade. He has an 82% tackling grade, a 79% pass rush grade, and a 95% run defense grade. He's projected to go in the 1st round, mid to late. He's logged in 35 college games at over 1,200 college snaps. He was a 5-star recruit, according to ESPN, 24/7 Sports, and Rivals.com coming out of high school. He's a guy they compare to Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia, Tyler Davis out of Clemson, and Levi Ozariki out of Washington. Now let's get to the scouting report summary for Walter Nolan. Walter Nolan, it says here, the tape shows a defender ready to make an immediate impact as a disruptive three technique in an attacking front. Nolan's combination of first-step explosiveness, natural leverage, and redefined technical skills will allow him to be a day-one starter in the NFL. His versatility to play multiple techniques along the defensive front adds significant value in today's multiple front defenses. While some teams may be concerned about his relative lack of length, Nolan's ability to consistently win with leverage and violent hands more than makes up for it. He projects as an ideal fit in a one-gap penetrating system where his quickness and power can be unleashed upfield. Smart defensive coordinators will move him around the formation to create favorable matchups against slower-footed guards. The Ole Miss standout has shown steady progression throughout his college career, with his best football still ahead of him. His combination of physical tools, production against top competition, and room for continued technical refinement makes him a high-floor, high-ceiling prospect worthy of a first-round selection. Don't be surprised if Walter Nolan develops into one of the NFL's premier interior defensive linemen by his second contract. This was written by Wyatt Brooks, who covers the SEC. So Walter Nolan is somebody the Philadelphia Eagles brought in for a top 30 visit. He's a guy who's positioned to go in the first round of the draft. Every mock draft that I've seen has him falling, I want to say, around the 25th pick and beyond. I've even seen him fall to the 32nd overall pick many times to the Philadelphia Eagles. I've seen him fall to the 29th pick, 30th pick. I mean, he's a guy that's definitely he's projected to go likely the 25th pick or later in the first round. So there you guys have it. That is your updated top 30 visit list. And again, as a reminder, the Philadelphia Eagles brought in for top 30 visits they brought in on the offensive side, offensive linemen, Jalen Travis out of Iowa State, Marcus Baun out of Purdue, Josh Connolly Jr. out of Oregon, Anthony Belton out of North Carolina State, Charles Grant out of William & Mary University, Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State, Dylan Fairchild out of Georgia. And Wyatt Millum out of West Virginia. They've also brought in running back Jaden Blue out of Texas. On defense, they brought in cornerbacks Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky, Jacob Parrish out of Kansas State, Trey Amos out of Ole Miss, Jalen Smith out of USC, and Justin Wiley out of Minnesota. At safety, they brought in Jalen Reed out of Penn State and Malachi Starks out of Georgia. On the edge, they brought in Elijah Roberts out of SMU, Donovan Izaraku out of Boston College, Tyler Barron out of Miami, Oluwafemi Oladipo out of UCLA, Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M. And on the interior, they brought in Shamar Turner out of Texas A&M, TJ Sanders out of South Carolina, Tyleik Williams out of Ohio State, and Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss. And lastly, Kobe King out of linebacker. All right? And that's out of Penn State. Make sure you guys smash that like button. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. That's our show for today. I really do appreciate you guys locking in and being super supportive. On top of that, make sure you guys understand you guys have access to this content after the fact. I appreciate all you guys who watch this stream, watch this show on your own time and double back. Make sure you guys smash the like button as well. Make sure you guys leave a comment. Make sure you guys also subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new. If you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the energy, make sure you guys commit. On top of that, you guys can watch the show and listen to the show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. That's something that's really important as well that we've been building. We've been investing a lot of time in. The show is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. And as a reminder, you guys have access to a gift, a SeatGeek promo code that's going to give you $20 off. $20 off your very first SeatGeek order. All right? It's baseball season, right? The UFL season is in full effect. You can use this SeatGeek promo code, Chalk It Up Sports, for any live event. The Kendrick and SZA concerts are underway. I'm going to that concert this weekend with wifey. I can't wait. Make sure you guys utilize the SeatGeek promo code that I have for you guys here. You'll get $20 off your first SeatGeek order. All you got to do is download the SeatGeek app, create an account, find your tickets you want to go to, or find the event you want to go to, put your tickets in the cart, type in that promo code, Chalk It Up Sports, and there you have it. $20 off your first SeatGeek order. And by the way, you guys, there is a loophole in there. There's a loophole. So make sure you guys take advantage of that, all right? I appreciate the love. I appreciate the super chats. I appreciate you guys being here and being consistent supporters of the channel. Smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Comment below. I've been your humble host, Tone DeShields II. And by the way, we're going to be live again later on. We're going to be live at 7 p.m. Eastern time. My good friend, Coach Marcus from Pro Fan Talk, him and I are going to do another mock draft ahead of the NFL draft that's starting on Thursday. We're going to do another mock draft. We're going to cover these top 30 visits some more in detail. We're going to recap the week. We're going to talk about Cam Jurgens' contract. Him and I normally do our shows on Sunday, but I was traveling, so I couldn't get it done. So he's being gracious enough for us to do the show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure you guys tune in tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Coach Marcus for Pro Fan Talk and I will be live on both of our YouTube channels, respectively, talking about your Philadelphia Eagles, mock drafts, Cam Jurgens' contract, and the overall NFL drafts. So there you have it. You guys have been tuned in to Chalk It Up Sports, where no matter if we win or if we lose, we just got to charge it to the game.